first off, I wanted to talk about what to do in terms of bringing raw foods into your house. Now, it's very important to have enough raw foods in your house first and foremost, and to get rid of all those unhealthy foods. So if you've got unhealthy foods in the fridge or the freezer, or you've got them laying around in the kitchen in cupboards, you've got to get rid of them, get them out of the house and replace them with healthy whole plant raw foods. So first off, if you're on this lifestyle, you need to obviously make sure that you eat enough calories. Now, on a raw foods lifestyle, the calories per bite are going to be less than on a typical diet. So you're going to need plenty of food, lots of volume. And to get your calories, the base of your calories on this diet and lifestyle is going to be fruit. So typically, we're going to be talking staples here like bananas. Depending on where you live in the world, then you've got other fruits like grapes, mangoes, papayas. Dry fruits are very useful. We'll touch on those in a little bit, like dates, figs, oranges, orange juice, all these kinds of things can be the sort of fruits that you use on a regular basis on this lifestyle. And as I said, bananas are typically the staple of doing this diet and lifestyle. So you need to make sure you have enough of this food in your house to make it so it's sustainable, so you've got enough through the whole week. And you normally use a week, around 7 days, or say a week, to plan ahead for this diet and lifestyle. Because you've got to remember, you're not getting this food in packets or in cans. It's got to be ripe, it's got to be ready. So that does take time and preparation and planning. So, as I said, bananas are the staples, so you've got to go out there and you've got to make sure you get the fruit that you want. Now, I just touched on that, and I've also touched on dried fruit, which is very important as well. Dried fruit is very calorically dense, like dates and fruits, and they're a very great, they're really good extra addition to diet and lifestyle, because you can always store them easily. You can put them in a box, in the fridge, in the cupboard, and you've always got them there, and they're packed full of calories, so they're very helpful, especially if you're going away traveling. So let's talk about first off the staples and how you're going to plan your week regards to what you're going to buy when you go shopping. So, as I said, bananas for most people, not everybody, for most people, that you like bananas, you love bananas, especially in this diet and lifestyle, and you'll use them as your staple. So when you go out shopping, as I said, you plan 7 days in advance for all your meals. So let's say you're eating 3 meals a day, 3 typical meals, so that's breakfast, lunch and dinner. And you also need to understand not just how many meals you're going to eat, but how many calories you eat. Now, for many people, they haven't got a clue really of how many calories they eat. I mean, in the past, I had no idea how many calories I was eating at my meals. Only when I started doing this diet and lifestyle, I became aware of what I was eating. Did I actually pay attention to, approximately how many calories I was eating every day? So you need to understand how many calories you're going to be eating, and to do this, you're going to use something. I really strongly suggest you use something like a nutrition software called Chronometer, for example, which you can get online, and it's free. And you can go on there and you can input all your food that you've eaten, and you can then see approximately how many calories that you've eaten. So that's a really useful tool, especially in the start, in the transition period when you're coming onto a raw food diet. So I definitely recommend, first off, getting used to and looking at the Chronometer. So it's www.chronometer.com, C-R-O-N, chron, O, as in O, meter, as in orange, meter.com, chronometer.com. So, for example, let's go back to the bananas. Now, as they're a great staple on this diet, you want to get bananas for 7 days. Now, if you go out and just get all green bananas at the same stage of ripening, they're all going to go ripe at the same time, basically. And you don't really want that, because who wants a whole big box of bananas to go ripe all at the same time? Because if it's just you eating this diet, or 2 of you, then you might have a surplus of bananas, and you're going to be struggling to eat them all, and you might have to end up getting rid of them. Goodness forbid. So what you are really best at doing is to plan in this, and what you need to do, like with example for bananas especially, is to get bananas which are different stages of the ripening process. So obviously you want to start this diet as soon as you can, yeah, because you want to be healthy and fit and active and feel great. So you need to get ripe bananas as soon as you can. Now you can go to, let's go for a quick list here of places you can go to get the produce that you need. So local grocery stores, local supermarkets. Now if you know the people there, get to know them, and they might be able to contact you if they've got really ripe produce that they want to get rid of and it's reduced. And off you'll go in supermarkets, you can go there and you'll see nice ripe produce which hasn't got past its sell-by date at all. It's still really nice, and they're trying to get rid of it for a really reduced price because they think, oh no, this is like really ripe, but in fact it's really great, it's just perfect. So get to know the people, the contacts at your local grocery stores or supermarkets. That's really useful. Or you can go to farmers markets. Farmer markets are very good, and depending on where you are, if you can get to a farmer's market. Wholesaling as well is an excellent way of buying your produce, because you can get a really good price on your produce because you're buying it in bulk, and that's something we used to do, especially when we were back in England, and we used to order it once a week, and they used to deliver our bananas for us and lots of other different produce, and we used to get a really good price on it. So these are just some of the ways that you can buy your produce and save yourself a lot of money, and they're really great ways to do it, especially the wholesale if you can do that. So as I said, so you get your bananas. So if you can get some ripe bananas, get some unripe bananas. Perhaps they might be slightly yellow, but it's going to take a few days to ripen, and get some just green bananas. So then you've got bananas at basically 3 stages of the ripening process. You've got ripe bananas, which are basically ready to eat. You've got bananas which are sort of in between, yellow, a bit green, and they're going to take a few more days to ripen. And you've also got green bananas. Now, if you're in a cooler climate, say in North America or in Europe, for example, then typically they're going to take longer to ripen than they would if you're in a place like I am at the moment, where we are in Thailand, because they ripen very quick because of the climate. So it's easier then to control how quickly that they ripen, and you can use things. You can go on our my YouTube channel, and we've got videos showing how to ripen your produce properly, and in particular bananas, and how you can control the ripening process as well. So you can actually control it and get them to ripen at about the right time that you want them to ripen. And as I mentioned before, if you do have a surplus of bananas, just to say that you do have too many ripe bananas, and you think, oh no, I can't eat all these bananas, what do I do? Then what you can do is to cut them up, or take them out of their skins, cut them up, put them in plastic sealable bags, and put them in your freezer. And this is a great way to store excess bananas, fruit, and you can keep them there indefinitely, and then have them at a later date, and you can add them to your smoothies and things. And you can use obviously dates as well, dried fruit in your smoothies. So they're a great addition, and great if you for some reason haven't got enough ripe fruit, whether it's bananas or other ripe fruits. So they're a really useful backup. Regards to other fruits, obviously grapes are great if they're in season, depending on where you are again. Mangoes, papayas, persimmons persimmons are amazing fruits. If you haven't tried them, you've got to try them. They are fantastic. So you've got all these other fruits, and they'll ripen at different rates depending on what they are. Okay, now I've touched on this quickly, and I'm going to touch on it now. My next point is going to be about dried fruit on this diet and lifestyle. Really important. Now, I talked about dates. Now you can get big boxes of dates, and we used to get them, and we used to get them actually from America. They used to send them over, and we could put them in our smoothies. You can put them in water, soak them overnight if you do want to eat them, and you can eat them with things like cucumbers, for example, as a little snack. But always make sure to soak your dried fruit, because one, it's much easier to eat. It's much easier on your teeth, because if you've got dry fruit and it's it's dehydrated, it's got no water in it as such, or very little water, and you're eating that, it's going to stick to your teeth. So that's not really good for your dental health. So you really want to make sure that they're properly hydrated, so they're soaked in water, ideally overnight. As I said, a good idea, a little tip there, if you want them as a snack, a quick snack on the go if you're out traveling, then have soaked dates, for example, with some cucumber. It's a great little snack, really hydrating, full of calories, and as I said, really good if you're out and about somewhere and you can't take a big load of fruit with you.